where does that leave him right now? He said he wasn't going to retire, or he doesn't want to. He wants to keep going. He's been knocked out 8 times so far, and that's not counting training. I love the guy. I want to see the guy continue to fight, but I want to also see him healthy. And what is your take?
Well, my take is that I believe he could be training, twice a day, or maybe 3 times a day, but probably just twice a day, and still be doing all the other stuff. But the problem is, he's not getting the quality of training that he could be if he was resting between those.
Yeah, I was exhausted between classes or between training.
Yeah, exactly. So, don't get me wrong. There was moments throughout my career where I just didn't have it in the gym, is because I was out doing whatever in between, or like I used to say, during the time that I lost to Clay Guida, I was Trevor Pranglin had to pull me aside after the fight and be like, hey, I wasn't going to say anything because you'd been winning fights.
Yeah.
He's like, but you're out at the nightclub until 1, 2 in the morning, get back home, and then we go run in the morning. Yeah, and then I go to noon training, and then we train and hit mitts at night. He's like, how are you doing it?
Yeah.
He's like, and obviously it's not working.
Yeah.
And so it was a little come to Jesus talk that he had with me, and it saved my career, I believe. And so so sure, Donald can do it, but you're not getting the best Donald in training, which means you're not going to get the best Donald in the fight.
Yeah.
And so the other thing as well is that he's got 2 young kids. He's got 2 young boys. I think one of them is Danger. I don't know the name of the other one, but he's got 2 young boys, and he's got a full big ranch to take care of. Look, I think it is time for him to move on, and there's no knock on him whatsoever. If he wants to go back down to 55, go right ahead. But it's in terms of, he's not going to be champion. It's not going to happen. Right. And it's sad, because he has been a gamer. He has been someone that every time the phone call is, every time his phone rings, he's picked up the call, and he's just thought to himself, okay, I'll just take any fight, anytime, anywhere kind of situation. And sometimes it's backfired on him because he was the number 1 contender and he lost, and then he didn't get a title shot, and all these things but he's made a ton of money as well. He's also spent a ton of money.
Yeah, he's admitted that.
I continue to go back to this. This is my biggest thing. If you are a fighter and you spend money like you're an NFL player or an NBA player or a baseball player, you're going to be broke.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll be broke. I hope he's done enough with his money. Maybe everything's paid off, but he needs to. I feel like he is a walking reality TV show. Yeah. And if anyone doesn't pick him up in terms of life on the BMF ranch or something like that, almost like remember Rob and Big?
Yeah.
Having a show like that, where you're out there and it's like they had the skate park and the business,
the big factory and all that.
Yeah, they had all of that, and so there was a lot of fun. And I think the same thing can be said for what Donald does. I mean, to make him, a TV, have a reality show about him, and then other fighters that come in to train with him, other fighters that come in to, to do all the things. And what he does, he takes them out horseback riding, he takes them out, quadding, he takes them all, wakeboarding, whatever it is. I think that if the UFC would, I think it would be foolish not to do something like that. You kind of know how they use Matt Serra for, Dana White's the Contenders or the Looking for a Fight or whatever it was.
For a Fight, yeah.
Whatever that show was. But I would think that they should do something like that. They should try to integrate Cowboy because he's got a great personality as well. And there's so much stuff and so much knowledge that he knows, whether it's hunting, any of that stuff. I think it'd be awesome. And you take some of your older fighters, that are retired now or just getting ready to retire, like Clay Guida, and you've got Chad Mendez, who are avid hunters, and you get the 3 of those knuckleheads together. Can you imagine a show with those 3 guys?
Yeah. I love those guys.
It'd be awesome, man. If you put a little show with those avid hunter guys and they get together and have their own TV show, I think there's something there to be had for those guys. But they got to team up, or the UFC's got to maybe try and get them some sort of connection and get back in there. I don't know, just my idea. But in terms of fighting, I'd like to see him retire. I don't. It's not that I don't want to see him fight more. I do, but I also care about people in general. And I'm just seeing too many of these guys holding on too long, and that was a big reason why I decided to retire. I just realized in the gym I wasn't the same. Guys that, that shouldn't be hitting me are hitting me, and they're hitting me more often, harder, and everything hurts a little bit more.
Was that me? Was that me that was doing that, or?
No. It was Swick. We both know it was never you.
Stop, dude.
We both
I'm going to save your ego on the show and just go with you on this one.
Yeah. Oh man, I love it. But Oh, it's one of those things like, yeah, you got to move on, and I don't want to see him fight. As a fighter, for me, it was time to retire. And they know. That's the thing. There's guys, that they're fighting. There's guys that they're training with that are beating them up. That are having more success with them than they weren't before. And that's the problem.